good afternoon. I want to make sure there's some people in this room. Yeah, there are. So I believe you had a great session with my friend Raghu this morning. And given his amazing fount of wisdom, it's not entirely clear to me what I can add to your body of knowledge. When I was asked to talk about the future of digital banking, and the truth is I don't really know. So what I thought I would do instead is tell you a little bit about what we've been trying to do the last 5 years, and then in the last few slides, give you some sense of things that I think are going to happen. Now, the reality is most times I've made these things that are going to happen, I've got them wrong. So all I say is you can have a point of view on the future, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the right point of view. So I think I will spend some time, though, talking about what we've done, because in that journey, maybe you'll figure out some things which might give you some sense for where we think things are going as we go forward. So our transformation journey, really, we say, started in 2014, and it happened because of three things. I started at DBS in late '09, and in the first 4 or 5 years, we got a lot of things right, but we weren't able to get one thing right. And that was our desire to scale up in India, China, Indonesia, the big markets. We were getting some top-line growth, but the cost of distribution was too high. So we were unable to really drive a profitable business. So this whole idea of how do you get efficiency in scaling up, get the cost point right in big expansion was bothering us. The second thing that happened at the end of 2013 is, of course, a lot of, the Fintech supply chain, value chain, interestingly only started getting disrupted much after other industries like retail, telcos, and so on. But by 2013, you were seeing that. You could see the unbundling of the financial services value chain. But the single biggest thing that happened is late 2013, I wound up having a breakfast meeting with Jack and Joe. And I walked away from that 1-hour meeting just completely scared out of my wits. It just seemed to me that what they were already doing, but more importantly, their agenda for the future was going to be completely game-changing for our industry. Now, the problem was that unlike folks sitting in the US or even Europe, I sit in Singapore and Alibaba is at our doorsteps. It was quite clear to me also that they were doing China, but it's only a matter of time, couple of years, they were going to be in every market that we were. And frankly, you talk about a burning platform. That without a doubt was our burning platform. So we started thinking really hard about, how do you compete with a new world where every tech company is going to be able to operate in your space and, frankly, do a much better job than you traditionally do. And I guess the bulk of our journey got architected on two important insights, frankly, and these are sort of sound motherhood, but for us, they were game-changing. The first was this. We generally, most companies, think of themselves as in a particular line of work and an industry. We think of ourselves as a bank. We very early embraced this notion that, as Mark Andreessen says, software is killing every industry. We embraced the notion that every company has to be a tech company, which means that no matter what it is that we try to do, we've got to start thinking like big tech. I actually started carrying 2 slides, depends on where I was. If I was in China, the slide had a picture of Jack Ma and it said, what would Jack do? And if I was outside China, it had a picture of Jeff and says, what would Jeff do? But this is really important for us. The notion of really thinking about how would a tech company deal with our industry, our problems, our issues, that became fundamental to us. My CIO, he actually, clever guy, came and put this together in a small acronym. We went around, talked to all of big tech, all the FANG companies, Facebook, etc. He came up with a more clever word. He said the Google, Amazon, Netflix, Apple, LinkedIn, Facebook, and you put them together, you get GANALF. And guess what? If you had a D in between, then you could get Gandalf, the wizard. And guess who has a D? Well, DBS has a D. And so the idea was effectively, can we be the D in Gandalf? Not that we were being very arrogant or thinking ahead of ourselves. The idea was for our people, to get them to believe that we could be a tech company. Our frame of reference must be big tech. And every time you think about who we're competing with, we have to think about big tech. So that's insight number one. The second big insight was this.